Clash in Italy is just 3 days away, and in this video I will be going over every match, telling you who I think should win, who will win, and any other predictions I have for the match. The first match we will be talking about is Femi versus Brock Lesnar. Now, this one is extremely tough to predict because there's just so many different ways that this match could go. Obviously, they're going for the trilogy. Let me lay out a couple different scenarios here. Oba wins here. Oba wins at SummerSlam, sweeping Brock Lesnar 3-0. However, if you do that, now Oba Femi losses have to be extremely protected. The other option is Brock Lesnar wins here, tying it 1-1 with the tiebreaker at SummerSlam. And then the last one is this match ends in some kind of no contest, kind of still just making it like 1-0. Maybe Brock wins here. He wins the World Heavyweight Champ or the undisputed WWE Championship or World Heavyweight Championship or something at Night of Champions. Oba wins King of the Ring, challenges Brock at SummerSlam. Like, there's lots of different ways they could go about this. And honestly, I don't think there's a wrong answer here. I think if you have Oba win, that's great. Brock wins, great. No contest, great. I really am happy with any options here. So this is really tough, but I'll say that Brock should win here. And the reason I say that is because if Oba Femi doesn't take a loss now on this, undefeated streak he has, he will have to make Oba Femi losses super protected in the future, and that can become a problem. So if you just get it out of the way now, then Oba can take losses and it'll make sense. And plus, makes all the sense in the world. They're tied 1-1. They're tied 1-1. It would make sense for the tiebreaker to be at SummerSlam. You know what? No, I'm changing my answer. I think it should and will end in a no contest. And my reason why is because Brock is obviously pissed. And he said, "Can you take a beating, Oba Femi?" And this time, Oba Femi said, "Last time I was fighting to beat him. This time I am fighting to kill him." So they are not very happy with each other. They are not very lovey-dovey. So I think it makes all the sense in the world for this to end in a no contest, whether the bell rings or not. Just, I want to see them destroy each other. I want to see broken barricades. I want to see broken tables, the announce table. Hell, break the damn ring. That would be awesome. And don't tell me that they don't have enough time to fix it, because they take so long between matches. Obviously, no outside interference. I think this match ends in a no contest. The next one we have to talk about is Becky Lynch versus Sol Ruca for the Women's Intercontinental Championship, Becky being the champion. Sol Ruca in her first title match on the main roster, and I love me some Sol Ruca, man. And I'm going to just say it. I think Sol should win here. She needs a win. Yes, she technically got a DQ win at Saturday Night's main event, but, I'm talking a pin or submission win. I do think this feud continues into, again, a trilogy at SummerSlam. And yes, I could see, Sol winning it at SummerSlam. That would probably be a bigger moment, but would it be too much is the question. Not for Sol Ruca. I think Sol Ruca could handle it. I think it would be tough, but I think she could probably handle it. But my question is, can WWE handle it? I want to see Sol Ruca win and then cement her title reign at SummerSlam, beating Becky Lynch again. And then hopefully Becky Lynch can go back to the main event scene. Hell, give us Becky versus Liv. That would be a really good match. And I think this is what should happen. I don't think Becky winning is necessarily a bad decision. I think I would just prefer Sol Ruca to win, and her winning this title on a premium live event is already going to be a huge moment for her, but it being in front of an international crowd is going to make it 10 times more special. I don't think we get any interferences or anything in this match. I do think Becky will try to do, her cheaty thing. I really hope Jessica Carr isn't the referee. And I didn't really think about this until I saw SawyerTheLatte talk about it a bit. And he basically said, it feels like the story is more focused on Becky Lynch and Corrupt Carr rather than Becky Lynch and Sol Ruca. And honestly, he's not wrong when he says that. They should honestly blow off this Jessica Carr and Becky Lynch feud. They can literally just blow it off on an episode of Raw. Jessica Carr wrestles on Evolve as a luchador, I believe, so she can definitely wrestle. So honestly, blow this feud off and just stop having her referee her matches, because that shouldn't be the focus of Becky Lynch matches. And it kind of hurts Sol Ruca a bit, taking the focus off of her. Don't get me wrong, it doesn't like ruin everything or anything. Just a small detail that I think would help improve this match. I think Sol should and will win here and then cement herself at SummerSlam, beating Becky again. The next match we have to talk about is a match for the WWE Women's Championship between the champion Rhea Bloody Ripley and the Storm Jade Cargill. I could also see this match going either way. You could have Jade win here and then Rhea goes on to feud with Charlotte, or maybe Rhea and Charlotte both stay involved in this match and then we get a triple threat at SummerSlam between Rhea, Jade, and Charlotte. Maybe Charlotte accidentally cost Rhea the match. I think there will definitely be shenanigans in this match. Charlexa being involved in the main event scene now. Fatal Influence could potentially get involved. And that's another thing. If Rhea wins, there's a lot of storylines you can go with from here. You can go with her storyline for Charlotte Flair. You can have her go against Alexa Bliss if you really want to. You can have her go against JC Jane. But if Rhea loses, what does Jade, or if Rhea wins, what does Jade do? Maybe if Rhea wins, she goes off to feud with Fatal Influence, and then Jade and Charlotte finally blow off their feud. That could be a potential option. I also don't think there's a wrong answer here. I feel like Jade wasn't given a fair shot at her title reign. Every time she did basically everything right. Yes, she had some bad promos for sure, but her matches significantly improved. Just everything about her, she was doing right pretty much. It's just WWE refused to book her and give her title defenses. And I don't like that for Jade, because I feel like Jade can be a phenomenal champion. And selfishly, she's one of my favorite female wrestlers. So I do want to see her have another world title reign. Obviously, Rhea Ripley's awesome, but I really do want to see Jade get another shot at it and get booked properly, because now the women's main event scene on SmackDown is absolute chaos, and it's awesome. And I feel like Jade with this division could really thrive. However, the question is, if Rhea Ripley isn't the champion, does the division go back to sucking? Because it could just be good because Rhea's the champion, so WWE all of a sudden cares about it. I don't want it to be like as soon as Rhea leaves, the division goes back to shit. I'm going to say Rhea Ripley ends up winning here, but I do think that Jade Cargill probably should win, assuming that the main event scene over on SmackDown won't just fall apart if Jade does win. And I also think that, Jade's BFAB and Beechin, I like to call them, will probably get involved. Fatal Influence will probably get involved, but I think Charlexa might even get involved, but I think somehow it all end up with Rhea winning. Actually, you know what? No. Wow, I'm changing my mind a lot in this video. I think Jade wins, because I think Fatal Influence will probably be there. Beechin will probably be there. Definitely be there. Charlexa will probably be there, or at least Charlotte. and I think Charlotte will end up accidentally costing Rhea the title, really igniting their feud again. The next match we have to talk about is Cody Rhodes versus Gunther for the undisputed WWE Championship. Now, this entire match kind of hinges on Randy Orton, because if Randy is going to come back, it's seeming like it's supposed to be for number 15. I mean, WrestleMania 41, night 1 ended with Randy holding up the title, attacking Cody with the title. Randy, in his tweet where he denied the back injury, he said he's coming back for number 15. So if Gunther wins, does he just start going after Gunther and then we drop the storyline with Cody? Because that would be really freaking lame. It just doesn't make sense, at least to me in my eyes. But if Randy isn't coming back, which he might not be because he said he's trying to enjoy his summer, I'm not sure if that means after SummerSlam he'll come back or before. I'm hoping before, but we have to know the possibility of Randy not coming back this summer. And if that does happen, I think seeing Gunther as a new champion would be kind of fresh. And if Gunther loses here, what does Gunther do? There's nothing for him. There's no one for him to retire. I think Brock Lesnar is out the window for retiring him. Rey Mysterio obviously doesn't want to get retired by him because, why would he? His son is literally in the WWE. I saw Sancho say that he could feud with Chad Gable if he does come back, which I really hope he does because he's been injured for a long time. But, yeah, it would be a really big step down. Going from the undisputed WWE Championship, retiring John Cena, retiring AJ Styles, retiring Goldberg, and then going to a mid-carder. I'm not saying he should be a mid-carder, but he's booked as a mid-carder. That's just like a huge major step down, and that's the problem with this career killer gimmick. WWE has backed themselves into the corner and just fucked themselves, because now he always needs to be going after a career, otherwise it'll just feel lame or whatever. But honestly, I don't care because it's their fault. So man, I don't know. Listen, if Randy Orton's gonna come back, this is my perspective on it. If Randy Orton's gonna come back, I don't care. Have Cody win. I don't give a shit what you do with Gunther after that, because we get Cody versus Randy without Pat McAfee. I'm going to say Cody Rhodes should and will win here. What does Gunther do next? I don't know, WWE. You figure that out. The next match we have to talk about, and in likely the main event, is Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu for the World Heavyweight Championship. Roman being the champion in Tribal Combat. Oos! Now, I'm going to try my best not to be biased here. As you guys know, I am a gigantic Roman Reigns fan. Now, if Roman wins, this storyline is over. He's done it. He's literally, the storyline's over. And Jacob, I don't know what Jacob's gonna do after that. If Jacob wins, we have a new tribal chief, like a legit tribal chief. Solo was the tribal chief for a bit there, but he just kind of made himself that. This would actually be a legit change in tribal chief status. I expect interference here. I expect the Usos, potentially MFT, probably not though. Maybe even Zilla Fatu. I expect this to be an incredible match, but back to Jacob winning. Imagine Jacob Fatu not only as the World Heavyweight Champion, which would be a very unique change of pace, but also as the Tribal Chief all summer. Arguably the most powerful and dangerous guy in all of the Bloodline. The only people who can be on a similar level as that is Roman Reigns and The Rock. I love how dangerous Jacob Fatu has been portrayed. Now just imagine that on steroids and with the title as the tribal chief. It would be insane. And if Jacob does win here, I think we run back a trilogy likely at SummerSlam. Lots of trilogies could potentially come out of this event. I'm going to say that Zilla Fatu does debut to help Jacob Fatu, and I'm going to say that Jacob Fatu wins and becomes the new tribal chief, and I think he should win because it would be so unbelievably interesting to see him not only as the tribal chief and the world heavyweight champion, but having Roman chase the tribal chief status and the world heavyweight championship back once again at throughout the summer and probably win at SummerSlam. I don't think Jacob Fatu would stay the permanent tribal chief, but I think it would be a really fun 2-month experiment. So yeah, I think Jacob wins here, and I would be far more interested to see that. Even as a huge Roman Reigns fan, I would still be more interested in seeing Jacob as the tribal chief and the next world heavyweight champion. But that is going to be it for this video. Let me know your Clash and Italy hot takes or predictions in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you want, and